A lash serum treatment service gone wrong caused her to eventually give up her profession and resign from her job. A hairstylist by the name of Harley had an unfortunate lash service experience where she volunteered to be a guinea pig, if you will, for a fellow coworker. But unfortunately, this experience has scarred her and she's no longer working in her profession anymore. So she agreed to be a test for a fellow coworker who was needing some practice for a service that was being incorporated into the business. Eyelash perm and serum services are a popular alternative to eyelash extensions, and before using the treatment or getting the treatment done, a patch test is always recommended, and with patch tests, the clients would wait at least 24 hours to see if they have any reaction to the products that would be used. So in April 2021, Harley offered to help out a friend who was training to be a stylist and agreed to have the treatment done by her. She said she always wanted to have her eyelashes tinted and permed, and she offered to do it. So she did an extensive patch test on her skin, and they waited the recommended 48 hours to see if there would be a reaction. The test points were photographed, and days later there were no changes, so they went ahead with the service. The service was done in the UK, and the products used were a high street lash and eyebrow boosting serum, as well as a perm treatment. And she said that she loved the result and her eyelashes did look really lush. And her friend definitely did follow all of the instructions, but within 48 hours of getting the service done, everything turned to the opposite, and it was like a horror show, she explains, with her eyes itching and watering. She says, I knew that after some treatments, your eyes could itch, but by the end of the day, my eyes were swollen and the rash around my eyes were worsening. The patch test area had erupted into a red monstrosity as well. I was having a severe allergic reaction to the treatment, she says. And I woke up the next day and was horrified. I looked like I'd been in a boxing match. Huge red circles had developed around my eyes, and it looked like I'd been punched in both eyes. So she was driven to a medical care facility, and she could barely open her eyes, and her vision was even blurry when she was able to open. So the reaction at that point was all over her face, with a rash even on her lips, and she said the pain was indescribable. She says it felt like someone had rubbed sandpaper all over her face, and it was unbearable. So she was prescribed antihistamines and told to use an aqueous cream to try and stop the redness, and there was nothing else that they could do. So she was forced to take a couple of weeks off of work, and she hardly got any sleep due to the pain and itching. She says, as a hairdresser, your looks are important, and when I went back to work, the rash and swelling were still visible. I looked like a character from a Halloween movie, and that's when clients started finding excuses not to see me. I explained it was an allergic reaction, but some didn't believe me. And that's really unfortunate. A dermatologist says that the active ingredients such as prostaglandin analogs or other synthetic compounds can cause irritation, redness, and swelling, and in severe cases, users may experience allergic dermatitis, leading to discomfort and potential long-term skin damage. And even if a patch test is conducted prior to doing the service, there's no foolproof guarantee against allergic reactions. This is extremely unfortunate because allergic reactions can happen, and they can happen even after you have been having a service done or using a product for many, many years. They can happen at any point in time. There really is no rhyme or reason to them. And it is extremely unfortunate when it happens in a situation such as Harley's, where it was extremely severe. It was so severe that she couldn't even continue in her profession, because not only was the service something that affected her, but because she is a hairstylist and working with different chemicals of such, she wasn't even able to provide services anymore because her immune system was pretty much destroyed, where there really were no more defenses to prevent her from having reactions from any other of these chemicals that she has allergies to. She says that it was devastating, and no matter what she did or what protective equipment she wore, she couldn't prevent the rashes from coming back again, and she couldn't wear makeup. And because she wasn't able to cover up, as well, it just greatly diminished what she was able to do as a hairstylist. So 2 months later, she said she quit her job, and it just pretty much destroyed her in terms of her self-esteem, and as well as being in the profession that she was used to being in. Listen, we're glad that she shared her story and glad about her warnings to people. This is extremely unfortunate, and it is extremely true that patch tests, even though they're not required, they are highly recommended. But even in getting a patch test, there's really no way of knowing if someone is still going to have a reaction to the products that were used in the service. So we highly recommend getting patch tests done, whether you're going to get an eyelash straightening, perm, lifting service, or getting eyelash extensions. And if you know that you have sensitivities or sensitive skin, you can't just assume that if the beauty business that you are being serviced at is using what is called a sensitive adhesive, it still does not mean that you would not have an allergic reaction to the products that are being used. So get the patch test done. Do not be in a hurry to get these services done. And if you have an event or something that you're planning for, we highly recommend that you prepare enough time to have a patch test performed. Give yourself the recommended 24 to 48 hours to see if you're going to have an allergic reaction. And if you're someone that already has a number of allergies or skin sensitivities, you may not be a good candidate for these services, so you may not even want to give it a try. At Carolina Eye Candy, we definitely do not agree that pain equals beauty and that anyone should have to suffer for beauty. You should feel comfortable as well as confident, and unfortunately, this situation for her was extremely uncomfortable, and it definitely did knock her confidence level down. We really hope and pray the best for Haley. Hope things start to turn around, and we really hope that you all are being careful when it comes to your beauty and you're taking these situations serious and not just following trends because you see them on social media. Do what's best for you to protect your skin, protect your eyes, protect your face, protect your beauty. It's an investment that you really don't want to have any permanent regrets for.